Alright, everybody, so now it's my turn. In my how-to, now if you notice on the video, for those of you on the video, that Kylie's gone, it's because Kylie's actually not feeling well today, and so she's going to be sitting here on the couch behind me. She might chime in, and if you pay attention, little man might be popping up right up here above this climbing wall. Hey, AZ! Say hi!
Stand up and look at Daddy.
Hi.
Come over here to the side. Get by the wall. Over here by the wall.
Hi.
There you go.
Hey, Bubba.
All right.
Papa.
You are
He's
Bubba.
Bubba.
Lay down.
He's right over there. See
He's
him?
supposed to be taking this nap.
So anyway. So, today we're going to be talking about something that's obviously very near and dear to my heart, right? Time. Stewarding time. We've been talking about, last time we talked about stewardship, just in general, which includes time, in the last episode. In this episode, we talked about gender roles, and one of the things we touched on was that you're responsible for how you spend your time, and that you're responsible to spend time with your family. So today we're going to talk about that. Just a short thing on how to do that, because so many people, oh, I don't have time. I work 16 hours. Well, that's fine. I've done that. 16, 18, 24-hour days. And I've always managed to spend some time with my family. When I was working 16, 18, 24-hour days, it would be on the weekends. I would get off work and I would go and I would spend time with my son, and I would spend time with my wife, and we would do things like, hey, Kylie, can you bring me the throwing knives and just bring me the throwing knives? And I would spend time with him doing things, right? My son and I, we picked up a hobby together as a family, actually. Me and my wife and my son will throw knives, right? And it's a meaningless hobby. There's no tactical application of throwing knives.
Unless, you're in a super cool spy movie and you
Right.
just happen to have a throwing knife in your pocket.
Right, but there's no application. It's just hand-eye coordination, and it's a sport. It's no different than baseball, other than it's a lot cooler than baseball. But this is what I do to spend time with my family, right? We have an activity that we spend time doing, right? Just like with your friends, you have fishing friends, you have work friends. Your friendship is based around something you do, right? So any hobby you have is an excuse to spend time with your family. So make hobbies intentionally to spend time with your family. But also, I've struggled for the past 5 years that I've been married to spend time with my wife on a regular basis. Sometimes because of work, sometimes because of things that I had to do. Sometimes it just always seemed like something came up. But I owe her better than that. As her husband, that we just went over that. I owe her the time that I need to spend with her. And if I don't, then I'm responsible for that. We give time for what's precious to us. So I made time intentionally. I would set aside time during the week. On the weekends, I would say, I am not going to do anything on X day, because I am going to spend that time with my wife, right? And today is that day, right? Today is Sunday, and I'm spending time with my wife today, right? I meant to do it yesterday, but something came up, and it was something that I really couldn't put off, right? It was something I'd promised my father that I would do, and it came to the time to do it, and it was a time I didn't expect, and so I had to do it. But then I said, you know what, I'm going to take tomorrow. And tomorrow, we're not going to do anything except that we do together. So we went to church together. We recorded this episode together. And after this, we're going to go out to dinner together. Right? I made that time. My son is very precious to me. He's one of the most precious things in my life. I have set an alarm for 1,800 hours, 6 o'clock in the afternoon every day. It goes off. I should be off of work by then. Sometimes I come home and I'm tired. I have things to do. I have to, shower, whatever I'm doing. I have things throughout the day. But when that alarm goes off, I know, okay, now it's time to spend time with my son. And it's time to go get the throwing knives, or go get his little pellet pistol, or his whatever cap gun he wants to pretend. And we're going to go out to the range. I have a pistol range, and we're going to shoot. or we're going to throw knives, or we're going to spend time together. The other day, I went to take him shooting, but he said he wanted me to push him in his tire swing. So I spent an hour pushing him in his tire swing, right? Because I'm going to spend time with him. I'm going to cultivate a relationship with my son, just the same way I do with my wife. I spend that time that will be precious to them later. To me, at the time, it might be a nuisance, or it might seem like a nuisance, but it's going to wind up being some of the best times in his memory and in my memory. Is very much worth it. Because if that relationship goes south, then I'm responsible for the outcome of that before God. And less than that, but just as important, I want to spend time with my son because he's precious to me. So I have activities that I purpose to do with him. I have time that I purpose to spend with him every day with my wife. I try to spend hours with him and with her. So if I can't, then I spend at least 30 minutes in each day with each one of them. I try every day to spend at least 30 minutes. And I try to set aside a day in the week when I spend time with just them. This is something that we as men need to do. We need to steward our time, make time. Think about this. The time you spend every day shows your priorities. How much time do you spend reading a book, right? How much time do you spend on your phone just surfing? How much time do you spend every day talking to your buddies after work? And for you men, how much time do you spend working out? You ladies too, how much time do you spend working out? If people consider a good workout to be 30 minutes to an hour, you could spend that with your family, right? There's 24 hours in a day. There's 7 days in a week. That's every hour of that you could be spending one of those with your family. Get up an hour earlier. Stay up an hour later. Oh, I need my sleep. But you really don't. You can survive on 5 to 6 hours of sleep and one catch-up day. Right? So stay up. Get up. Go to bed. Wake up. Spend some time with your family. What you spend your time with shows what is precious to you. And some of us, YouTube is the most precious thing to us. That's kind of sad. In the same way, how precious is God? How much time do you spend with Him? How much time do you spend in your Word, in the Bible? How much time do you spend in prayer? How much time do you spend just sitting, being quiet, listening? Not much. How much a day? You can spend 30 minutes. How long is your drive to work? That you can spend that. How much time do you spend? It's a measure of how much you care. So, purpose to make it more precious. Purpose that your family will be one of the most precious things in your life, and you'll spend hours with them, right? The job you spend is already time put towards them because you're making the money for them, right? But you have to spend time with them. Otherwise, you will lose them. You will have provided for them in every way, except for the one way that's really most important. By spending time with them and caring and putting into their lives. Your sons and your daughters will grow up and they will not know you. They will not love you. And one day you might, God forbid, wake up and find out that your spouse doesn't know you or love you either. And what a horrible day that would be when you could have for 30 minutes a day. Just for 30 minutes. Time is something everybody has. How well have you been redeeming your time? Do a little better. Spend a little more time with your wife, with your sons, right? Do things like build a rock climbing wall for your son so you can help him climb up and down, right? Put $20 into metal, right? Buy a baseball. Throw it. And purpose every day to do that with your son. He will learn to love that, whatever it is. I pick knives. My son didn't want to throw knives. One day, I handed him a throwing knife. Not this one. It's a smaller one that was not this pointy. But I handed him a throwing knife. And I took him out and we started throwing things. Right? And now he wants to throw knives. We took him out on the range with me and some of my friends and we were shooting. And he had his little cap gun, and now he wants to go shooting. He saw Daddy doing it. It was something he did with Daddy and had fun. I pushed him on the tire swing. He didn't want to swing on the tire swing. I put it up. He didn't ask me to. I put him on it, and I pushed him. And he said, oh, this is fun. I'm doing this with Daddy. Right? Purpose to do the same thing with your wife. Spend some time, sit down, talk to her. This whole podcast came about because I needed to spend time talking with my wife and doing something meaningful. And I said, this is a good way to do it. And accomplish 2 birds with 1 stone by telling people things that they need to hear. So do that. Purpose to find some time to spend with your family. Me and my wife, we throw knives, right?